We're going to give you an update on all things tropics. Today is Sunday, September 13th, and Tropical Storm Sally, which is situated very close to the state of Florida, going to continue to near the Gulf Coast and continue to strengthen. So that's where we're going to start off, but I want to give you an overview of what's happening in the tropics altogether. We do have Tropical Storm Sally situated close to Florida, Hurricane Paulette nearing Bermuda over the next 24 to 48 hours. Tropical Depression Renee, barely a tropical depression, actually forecasted to become a remnant low by early tomorrow morning, if not sooner. Tropical Depression 20, though, looks to increase in strength and actually become a Category 1 hurricane, even a Category 2 hurricane over the coming days. So that's set to take out our next name. I'll have a closer look at that coming up. And a couple other areas we're continuing to watch, those pictured here in those areas of yellow, and even that red area, an area of invest that we're going to continue to monitor, because that one could also take on tropical depression status as well as take on another name on the list. We're going to start out with Tropical Storm Sally. Like I mentioned, this is as of the latest advisory from the National Hurricane Center of the 8 a.m. advisory. So the latest one we were pulling in is from 8 a.m. from the National Hurricane Center, location just about 150 miles west of Port Charlotte, Florida. Sustained winds with this tropical storm right about 50 miles an hour, and this has picked up some speed in terms of its general movement. Yesterday it was progressing fairly slow at about 5 miles an hour. Now we're seeing a movement of a west-northwest movement of about 13 miles an hour. So continuing to move its way into the Gulf of Mexico. And here's the latest track. This one hasn't switched too much since the 5 a.m. update, so this is the latest 8 a.m. track from the National Hurricane Center. Still projected to intensify in terms of its overall ability as it nears landfall. So this is going to intensify into a Category 1 hurricane by Monday afternoon, so tomorrow afternoon, before making landfall, potentially as a Category 2 hurricane right this very second by very early Tuesday morning, if not happening overnight, Monday into Tuesday. But there could be some rapid intensification that happens here. The National Hurricane Center has put out that there is a very high likelihood that this system continues to gain some strength. So this Category 2 as of now, as of 8 a.m. on Sunday morning, this could continue to gain some strength and potentially even make landfall as a Category 3 hurricane. So we'll keep you posted on any changes, but going to continue to bring loads of rainfall to the general area, not only stretching from New Orleans, but all the way through the panhandle of Florida. We're talking almost a foot of rainfall in some locations. We're talking New Orleans, right about 10 inches of rainfall from the system alone. But it's not only going to impact the Gulf Coast states. We're talking impacts being felt all the way up into Tennessee. And we could even see some rainfall here, or chances at least increased, as we approach this upcoming weekend for immediate Hampton roads. But nonetheless, this is going to produce loads of rainfall because the system is just going to sit here as it nears its actual landfall potential Monday night into Tuesday morning. So this is going to kick up a lot of water from rainfall, but storm surge threats also on the board. We do see various watches and warnings in place. We're talking tropical storm watches, tropical storm warnings, and even hurricane watches and warnings painting the Gulf Coast states beyond just flood watches in place for the peninsula of Florida, because they've already seen loads of rainfall. The Keys of Florida have seen substantial flooding over the past 24 to 48 hours. But this is Hurricane Paulette. I want to switch the gears. This one not going to impact the U.S. whatsoever. It's actually going to impact Bermuda. You can barely see just behind this Category 1 hurricane symbol that Bermuda is situated right in this very location. This magenta color, if you're picking up on it, is actually a hurricane warning in place for all of Bermuda, because the system, already a Category 1 hurricane, going to near Bermuda in particular very early tomorrow morning. They're going to start feeling effects here in the next 12 to even 24 hours before this approaches landfall, and then continuing to progress its way a little bit farther back into the Atlantic waters, a little bit farther north and east over the coming days. So this is Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and even into Friday, holding true to a Category 1 hurricane status by Friday morning. So this could kick up our swell along the eastern seaboard, but for the most part, this system just going to be a fish storm after it passes Bermuda, and then going to fizzle out back in the northern portions of the Atlantic waters. Now, something else to talk about, this one very far away, much closer to the coast of Africa, near the Cape Verde Islands right now. This is Tropical Depression 20. That could take on a name fairly soon. So a tropical depression could turn into a tropical storm, and looks to by overnight tonight into early tomorrow morning, if not sooner. But this system also going to progress and intensify as it gains some strength moving its way back into the central parts of the Atlantic waters. So still in open waters, nowhere near land. This system going to continue to move its way a little bit farther northward into the Atlantic waters by Thursday early morning, even Friday early morning, but this is going to intensify from Category 1 hurricane into a 2. We'll keep you posted on any changes here because this system is very far out. Lots of unknowns here, but I already recalled that we could see that next name from that system alone, Tropical Depression 20, could take on the name Teddy over the next 24 hours here. And then Vicky and Wilfred are the only names left on this list. So after Teddy is taken, 2 names until we complete the Atlantic hurricane names for 2020. And after we complete this list, we move on to the Greek alphabet. And that has only been done once on record. So we will actually have the name Alpha after Wilfred. That will be the next name up. So here's a look at areas we're continuing to watch. A low chance of development here in the Gulf of Mexico too. The system going to continue to near Mexico City in general, but still a very low chance of development not only over the next 2 days, but out throughout the next 5 days. And here's another area we're continuing to monitor. This one very far away also, almost near where Tropical Depression 20 is. You can see that on visible satellite right here. But this swatch of red has the highest chance of development, especially over the next 5 days. A medium chance this area of invest over the next 2 days, and a low chance here. Lots of tropical waves coming off of the coast. We hit the peak of hurricane season right around Thursday, which was September 10th. So this is not uncommon for this time of the year, but loads of activity happening. And if you have any questions, you can always find us on social media. Here are all of mine. You feel free to reach out if you have any comments, questions, or concerns about the tropics. We'll keep you posted here in the 13 News Now Weather Center for all news on the tropics and any updates that come out, not only on air, but on social too.